All right, everyone, welcome back into another props video. Going to get into the top picks on PrizePicks today. So real quickly, just a recap from yesterday. Had 3 total slips. One of them hit. On total for the day, 50% of the bets hit, which for a bad day, we will take that. Probably not touching Matt Olson again. That's 3 straight times in which he has burnt us. Thankfully, Ogunbowale was able to hit the free square in Underdog, which the biggest point is to remind you guys to take advantage of the promos and the free squares. Depending on how you guys gamed yesterday, you got a refund on your Flex Friday prop. You missed one prop bet on PrizePicks via the NBA bet, but also we kind of knew that was forcing in there a little bit. I touched on that, and then we were able to take advantage of the Underdog free square. So just want to continue to emphasize that. Not only should we be taking advantage of those, but take advantage of them in the correct way. Now, we do have some props available for NBA already. And looking at right now, guys, very tight. Okay, it's actually kind of suggesting that we should be betting the under. And it is a very interesting one. It's kind of like, does Miami just come out flat? You know, and then if that happens, then I do think we would kind of trust the unders for a lot of these over base bet, which is very interesting. So it might be a situation in which maybe a better day to bet on the sports books rather than betting on PrizePick. That's kind of what this is suggesting, especially given the game over and under and the spread. Like, very low scoring game, 208, and the Nuggets are favored to win by 9 points. And so that is by far the most interesting thing, is that basically all the props that we're getting is suggesting we really should be touching them too much. Then looking for any differences that we are getting, nothing too crazy as well. So let's go ahead and get into the top MLB props for the day. Now, guys, MLB wise, it is kind of loaded today. Let's look at this. We literally have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 prop bets that have a 54% chance to hit. That is spectacular. Stott was pretty much the best individual prop bet that we had that didn't have a hitting fantasy score prop yesterday. He did get 1 strikeout. And if you pull up his game log, he has been striking out a lot lately. So that should bode well for this prop bet. And actually, let's just take a peek at some of those strikeout props for you. So we look at Xander here. You know, he is someone that also strikes out a lot. So I like that prop that we're getting there. And then let's look at Ty France as well. So if we look at it with Ty France, we can see, like, looking at his last 5 games here, had multiple strikeouts, and now he has had 0 straight. So interesting in that aspect, but I'm assuming that's kind of why we're getting it, just the fact that he hasn't struck out over the past 3. Then we also do see that we are getting 2 pretty good hits, runs, RBI props as well. So let's take a peek at those 2. So we got Spencer Torkelson pulled up here right now. We can see 2 hits last game, so he would have got the over there. Then 3 straight games where he wouldn't have gone the over, and then got it there. So kind of hit or miss is what we're seeing there. Let's take a peek at the game over and under for this game. And guys, just for what it's worth, like, you can use this information for MLB DFS. We are seeing that Spencer Torkelson could actually be a pretty good value today as well. The sportsbooks are giving him a 54% chance to get 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Now, he's only projected to get 1.39, so far from a really strong prop bet, and that's something I should have called out for the other ones as well. Like, Ty France is actually projecting as the best one there, but they're all projected to get their over as well. So we'd like to see that. Whereas Spencer Torkelson, you know, it's not much, 0.11 prop line difference. So nothing like too significant to make us want to avoid it. But at the same time, if we look back and see why he didn't get there, like, it wouldn't be that difficult to see. Then let's look at Austin Riley here as well. And real quickly, looking at that Detroit game, it's not exactly like a go out of your way to play type game. Only a 9 run over and under. So now we look at Austin Riley. Okay, he's someone that 3 at bats last game, 1 base on ball, 1 stolen base, so that's nice. And now let's look at that game over and under as well, 9.5, so decent there. I mean, obviously, given the projection, this is probably a pretty strong prop bet on the day. Not perfect, but we did notice something when scrolling through the over and unders for today's games, is that we have one game that kind of stands out, 12.5 for a game over and under between the Padres and the Rockies. That was the game yesterday to attack. It looks like it's going to be the game today to attack as well. And so let's just look at those props. So Tatis was the 1 hitting fantasy score prop that came through yesterday. If we want to roll with him again, we could. Obviously, in another great spot here. Charlie Blackmon did not get there. Juan Soto, I think I'd be fine rolling with Juan Soto today as well. I do want to attack this game via a stack, so it probably would be Soto, Tatis over probably Ryan over as well. Then I was interested in seeing if we were going to get any Manny Machado props. He is back from injury. We're not. We're just getting hitting strikeouts. Probably don't want to touch that. So now let's go ahead and get into the hitting fantasy score props for the day. So guys, we do have two very solid bets on the day. We got Bryce Harper for over. And then we also have Nolan Arenado for over as well. Remember, what I'm looking for is where the prop line and the Vegas line, and the projection are both over the PrizePicks line by at least 2. So we got 2 there, Bryce Harper and Nolan Arenado. Those are looking like 2 pretty good prop bets. The issue with today is which ones do we pair those up with? You know, I'm kind of to the point where anytime there are good hitting fantasy score props, I'm just going to put them in there until one of 2 things happens. PrizePicks starts to adjust better for them, or if they start to hit at a huge, or if they start to miss at a huge rate. I don't see either of those 2 happening anytime soon. So I think we can continue to roll with those. And I am very curious about McKenzie as well. He is someone that was on the 60-day IL to start the season, and he's looked sharp in his rehab start, and he looks sharp in his first start back from injury, having 10 strikeouts in that game. So he does get a difficult matchup against Houston, but if we look at that game over and under, 8. So they expect it to be a well-pitched game in that game. So obviously we have a small sample size here. Either that's going to be a very good thing for us and he's going to be able to strike out a bunch of players, or you know, he could potentially struggle given the fact that it is his second start. It's really, there's probably a big edge here, whether that be the under or the over. I think he'll get the over, although the matchup is more difficult. And then there were a couple of PGA props that I just wanted to mention. So we are getting a lot more prop bets for PGA as I am starting this video. So what I want to call out is we are getting a pretty good prop line for Justin Rose. Personally, I would say the under actually on PrizePicks would be the way to go for Justin Rose, but we do see a prop line difference of 1, and they are both at 0.5, which is huge because on Underdog, obviously they don't pay out a push. So this is much better, 69.5, and the fact that the ad here is suggesting that we should bet the over, we can do that. Now, personally, I think Rose and Hatton are both going to play well. He would need to shoot 3 under par today. So would Hatton. And then we could also look at Rory and Connors as well. This could be a situation in which we are kind of just running out a stack on Underdog. And what I find interesting is that, like, if we just sort by the Underdog edge here, we will see that Underdog thinks that the course is going to continue to play easy like it did yesterday. Whereas PrizePicks is saying it is going to be a tougher track today. Tough to really say for sure. And this is maybe a situation in which you could bet both ways. Maybe under on PrizePicks and then over on Underdog. But we are seeing projection-wise, there's a pretty big edge there on Underdog. So this is kind of what the bet would look like. If you guys want to go ahead and roll with that, you can. The nice thing about Underdog is that they don't change the payout, which PrizePicks does. So we're more or less betting on how the course would play here. Then if we go ahead and flip it around, we will see that we are potentially getting some nice kind of birdie or better matchup based props. So we got Shane Lowry versus Nick Taylor. Data actually likes Nick Taylor a little bit more. I don't know if I particularly trust that one too much. Kind of interesting that they like that one. But if that hits, then this one would probably also hit where Tommy Fleetwood would get more birdies than Shane Lowry. I don't think I want to chase those. To me, like, we can use this projection data. The projection data is great for the birdie or better matchups, but I just want to look at these ones themselves on PrizePicks. So this one I find extremely interesting. So Ludwig here, he is a young player that everyone's excited about, but I would say in no regard should he be valued as the same as Matt Fitzpatrick, who has been playing much better as of recent. Matt Fitzpatrick had a bad round 2 yesterday. So I expect him to have a bounce back day today. So that is a decent prop. And then, whoa, they actually took away some of the props I was maybe potentially looking at. But here's another one, like Justin Rose, better player than Aaron Rai. Aaron Rai is kind of in contention, whereas Justin Rose needs to get into contention. So I do expect him to have a better day as well. So those are 2 kind of golf props that I like as well. So the tough part about the bet of the day is that we are getting a bunch of good prop bets. It seems like good enough prop bets, where someday it might feel like we're forcing a little bit. My issue today is that it's kind of just like, all right, which ones do we go in on? Because we are getting a decent amount of good prop bets. So bet of the day wise, this is what I would be looking at. Just taking advantage of the good prop bets that are out there. Looking at these 4 that are right here, guys, all 54% chance to hit, and all of them is where the projection data is also suggesting that the over should hit. And these are going to be the two best hitting score props that we have as well. And then these two props, I just don't mind PGA wise. So kind of two bets of the day. We did have better ones out there earlier. I don't really know why they took them away because it hasn't started yet. Maybe a lot of people are betting on them. But that's going to be all for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the coverage, make sure to give a like and subscribe. That does help out the channel a lot. Honestly, got a bunch of likes on the last two videos, and it really helped to grow the channel a ton. So I do really appreciate that. That does help me be able to put out more content, be able to update the tools more, and just everything in between. So this is something I want to continue to grow and continue to grow with you guys. So let's keep that up. All right, thanks for watching. Let's have a good slate. And as always, let's keep cashing.